Hello and welcome to a MovieGainz special podcast. And today's special is our very own annual awards show. The 6th annual MovieGainz Awards for 2022, aka the MGAs.
The MGAs.
The MGAs. This is always a very special day for us. Me and Nan, we got our tuxedos on.
I was about to say we're dressed up here in suits.
And we are, yeah.
If you guys doubt us, then come to New Zealand right here, right now, and you can prove us wrong.
You can see. We walked the red carpet. My family was taking pictures of me.
Yeah.
Oh,
We've got alcoholic beverages with us.
Yep.
The only thing we don't have is food.
We don't have food. We don't have trophies to give out. A special welcome to Tom Cruise. He's in the crowd. Hey, mate.
And Michelle Yeoh, she's in that corner there as well, trying to peek her head through the garage.
We'll see if they're winners. We'll see if they're nominated. But anyway, we're going to get into it. My name is James. I'm going to be hosting this special podcast. It's an honor to be joined by my co-host, Nay. How's it going? You ready for these awards?
I am ready for these awards. I am very uncomfortable in my tuxedo.
Tuxedo. The neck still hurts.
The neck still hurts, yes. I should probably get it checked out, but nothing alcohol can't fix, right?
We should have invited the MovieGainz physio to come and sort it out. I'll come massage you.
Yeah, the physio is you stand on my back. So it'd just be you stand on my neck.
Okay, well, we'll make a deal. When the audience come up and they make their speech for their wins tonight,
yeah,
I'll be massaging you in the background, right? We'll fix that shoulder for you, okay? Don't you worry.
Yes, cannot wait.
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into our special podcast. If you enjoy our show and would like to support us, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel or follow us on Twitter. Also, for more of our content, be sure to check out MovieGainz.com. This is where we post the majority of our content, including box office predictions and analysis, 4K or Ultra HD movie reviews, movie lists, film reviews, award season projections and analysis, all the works. You can subscribe to our email newsletter and keep up to date with our content on a weekly basis. All right, so let's jump into things. All right, so we got several categories. Some of them are silly, some of them serious. But today we're going to be revealing our nominations and winner for the following categories: Best Film, Best Franchise Film, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Cinematography, Best Production Design, Best Score/Soundtrack, Best Visual Effects, Most Memorable Scene, Most Disappointing Film, Most Overrated Film, Worst Character, Biggest Surprise Film, the official MovieGainz top 3 worst films of 2023 or 2022, and we will be ending it with an official MovieGainz top 10 films of 2022. All right, so let's get into it. Oh, we're going to start. We're going to start with some of the wacky categories, and then we'll lead up to our serious stuff. All right, so biggest surprise film. Our nominations: Top Gun Maverick, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Everything Everywhere All at Once, All Quiet on the Western Front, and Triangle of Sadness. So what do you think about these biggest surprise films here?
I can say that all these films definitely did surprise us a lot. Top Gun Maverick, we didn't think that the sequel hit that hard. Got us away. Puss in Boots, this was a film none of us were hyped, excited for. We had no thoughts towards. We didn't hate it. I didn't even know this was a thing until you sent us that screen invite, and I was like, oh, fuck, there's another pussy.
So why you put it?
So, yeah, that was a surprise. Everything Everywhere All at Once, that was also a big surprise just because of how under the radar it went.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it teased stuff about with the multiverse. Then we have like stuff like Doctor Strange, which pretty much stole that limelight from that sort of genre sort of thing. All Quiet on the Western Front, film no one knew about until Oscar time, realistically.
Yeah.
And Triangle of Sadness, that just blew us away, really. So, yeah, I think all of these films here surprised us, but there can only be one winner.
There can only be one winner, yeah. I mean, when I was like thinking about this category, it's like there's a lot of surprises, and this is a really tough category because, just you covered it all pretty much. Just everything came out of nowhere, but as you said, there can be only one winner. And the winner for biggest surprise film is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Yeah, I mean, you covered it pretty much. Puss in Boots, it really came out of nowhere. At least stuff like Top Gun and all that. You know, you knew you were in for a good time. We knew a bit about they were filming real jets. Tom Cruise has his own stunts. Everything everywhere was coming from A24. The trailers looked good. All Quiet on the Western Front. Again, the trailers looked good. Triangle of Sadness had an easy build up through winning the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival. But Puss in Boots hit theaters and everyone was like, wow, this is amazing. So a good winner for that category.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I think none of us have raved out of this film. You and I have raved about Puss in Boots more exiting a film than Puss in Boots.
Such a shock.
The only one that comes close is Top Gun, but I think we were talking about Puss in Boots for like weeks, really. We're like memeing it. We're finding memes everywhere for it.
Yeah.
And I think it literally it surprised not only us, but like I think the world at 90%. Over 90% on Rotten Tomatoes as well. Critics loved it, clearly. And then that tease at the end, gets us hyped. And then Shrek 5.
Shrek, donkey movie.
Yeah. Piggyback off that was, 100% good winner for Best Surprise Film. Now, surprise film, something good. We're going to something bad, which is Worst Character. And our nominees are for this category: Korg for Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor for Thor: Love and Thunder, Colonel Tom Parker for Elvis, Buzz Lightyear for Lightyear, and Ironheart for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Oh,
what are your thoughts on these noms?
I love these kind of categories. They're very fun to nominate and discuss. I mean, these nominations, they speak for themselves. Elvis is really the only massively highly regarded film. But I think most people agree that, Tom Hanks and Tom Parker, it's funny, they're the same name.
I didn't even pick up on that.
A career worst performance and just a horribly done character that overstayed his welcome.
Yeah.
Speaking of overstaying their welcome, Korg. Comedy went too far. Taika Waititi had to put himself too much into the movie. Became an absolute joke of a character, and it's a character that I really did like. I thought he's always funny when Ragnarok and Endgame and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I truly hate Korg. Thor, all that work done in Ragnarok and Infinity War, I didn't like his portrayal in Endgame, but then they just took him to another level of stupid for this. Ironheart is just like a little MCU Optimus Prime. Lightyear, it's just it's butchering another classic great character. But yeah, they're all bad, but there can only be one worst.
There can only be one worst, and that worst for 2022 in the MGAs is Korg for Love and Thunder. And it is deserved. I mean, the stuff you said, like Taika Waititi clearly saw himself as, or saw that like Thor was quite, was popular amongst the audience. So he just figured, let's chuck him in a bit more. Overexposure is business 101. You overexpose something, that's good. People are going to hate it. And clearly this was that here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Thor... all that character development with him, the Guardians, from Infinity War to Ragnarok.
Yeah.
This film pretty much undid all of that, and now suddenly he's a father. Like,
okay. Oh yeah, I forgot that happened. Holy shit.
Yeah. Tom Hanks is Tom Parker. Yeah. It's been a pretty shit year for Tom Hanks. I mean, he was
Pinocchio one,
he was in Pinocchio as well, and that wasn't that good. But yeah, that was a huge criticism of Elvis, and I think if that character wasn't part of Elvis might have had a really good shot of winning the Oscar there.
Yeah, for sure.
Buzz Lightyear, we all know that. I mean, it's an unwanted character or unwanted film, and Ironheart was just there because of the Iron Man name, really.
Yeah, Optimus Prime. Just a CGI character. Yeah. We are going to move on now to one of the more controversial categories. This one always causes a stir. We used to do the MGAs through posts on Instagram. Whenever we did most overrated film, the criticism we got sometimes was quite hectic. And you're about to find out why. Because the nominees for most overrated film are Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, All Quiet on the Western Front, Turning Red, and Banshees of Inisherin.
Some big Oscar films in there as well.
Yeah, Marcel got a nomination for animated. All Quiet dominated. Banshee's got a ton of nominations. Mm-hmm. But yeah, what do you think of the nominations here?
I think every single one of these films is justifiable. I mean, Marcel was fantastic, but Marcel can come off as like real annoying in that film, whatnot. It was fantastic as a film overall, but like it wasn't at the same time compared to the other animated films in that category. Glass Onion could never really live up to the hype of Knives Out. I mean, I think Benoit Blanc was done a bit better in this film than he was in Glass Onion.
Right.
But the story overall was quite predictable and whatnot.
Yeah.
All Quiet on the Western Front. I could see the reasoning for that being in here. Mm-hmm. It's a good movie, but like shouldn't deserve as much hype as it should. Yeah. Turning Red is easily the most overrated Pixar film within the past 5 years for sure. I mean, I don't understand why everyone enjoyed that film so much.
I'm thinking about that one.
Yeah, and Banshees of Inisherin, I think that was just a letdown on my part.
Yeah. I see. This is always such a controversial, and people don't understand the term overrated. Overrated doesn't mean a bad film. You can make a case for these movies being really good, but overrated means how it was perceived in terms of how people talked about the movie, what kind of ratings it got, did it pick up much awards and stuff like that, and did the film justify itself to get that acclaim and to get those awards and all the success that it did.
Yeah.
But yes, there is only one overrated film for this one, and the winner for most overrated film, Banshees of Inisherin. It got nominated a bunch at the Oscars and won nothing.
And I'm pretty sorry to cut you off there, but I'm pretty sure in the lead up to the Oscars, it was like before everything took place, like before the major award season. Yeah. Like it was up there to like sweep everything. It was like getting the most nominations
before award season, or like very close to the Oscars.
Bit of both.
It was always up there in the conversation. I think in terms of the best picture race, I think it was like I know it was top 4 in terms of people predicting and odds and whatnot. But yeah, no, Banshees of Inisherin. I just heard so much acclaim about this movie. It was obviously got nominated a ton.
Yeah.
Rated extremely high. I just don't think it lived up to that. I think it's a good movie. And there's really lots to love about it. Acting, production design, score. But yeah, not to the level that I heard. And what Nan heard as well. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. Our next one is our most disappointing film for 2022.
I love these ones.
Oh, these ones are good because it like stirs so much controversy.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Everyone, it's more fun to be the bad guy than the good guy, really. And our nominees for most disappointing film is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Don't Worry, Darling, Thor: Love and Thunder, Jurassic World Dominion, and Babylon. Now, every one of these films had so much hype when the trailers came up, and they all let us down, really.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these noms?
Well, they speak for themselves. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You give a title called Multiverse of Madness, you put in the MCU, you expect big things. You add Sam Raimi to direct, you follow up from Spider-Man No Way Home, and you just expect absolute shenanigans.
Madness.
Yeah. and you get no madness. You get incoherent storytelling. You get weird character directions and whatnot. Just a letdown in terms of the broader MCU scope, and a letdown as just a standalone MCU film.
Yeah.
Don't Worry, Darling. Now, this one is quite a big disappointment because, Olivia Wilde came from Book Club. Is it Book Club? Book Red?
Booksmart.
Booksmart, that's the one. Book Red.
Because you do read books, so.
Book Red. Yeah. Nah, but that one was shaping up. It looked like a movie that I thought would be an Oscar contender. The trailers were amazing. The way Olivia Wilde would describe it was amazing. Obviously a letdown and stirred a bunch of controversy, which we can see why now. Thor: Love and Thunder speaks for itself. I don't think anyone was expecting grand things from the film, but no one was expecting the shit piece that we got. Jurassic World Dominion. We covered this in our earlier Let's Be Real show. Well, Nayan did really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were expecting to finally get dinosaurs and humans and how that interaction, what society would look like in that. But we got locusts eating corn.
Yum 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 yum.
and then Babylon. You put a young, extremely talented director like Damien Chazelle. He's the youngest to ever win Best Director. And you put in Margaret Robbie, you put in Brad Pitt, and you put him in a musical element, and you don't get. You expect greatness. You expect just something truly grand and special, and we just didn't get that.
No, absolutely not. All right, you cover them all nicely, but there can only be one winner, and our MovieGainz most disappointing film is Doctor Strange at the Multiverse of Madness.
Disappointment.
Big disappointment. I mean, James covered it nicely, but if you look at all of our nominees, there's only one film that everyone was absolutely excited for, and it's this. It was Doctor Strange. I mean, same could be said for Batman vs Superman. Like, everyone was excited for that film based off the trailers. Film came out, final product, huge, massive disappointment. Now, I'm not saying Doctor Strange is on the same level as Batman, but I'm just using an example here. But like what this film promised and what it should have delivered, it really didn't. Especially after coming off the heels of No Way Home.
Yeah,
like massive disappointment.
Tough. All right, so most memorable scene. I always love doing these ones because there's always so much scenes, and we never really take the time to remember the moment.
And then it's a good thing you named these ones this year instead of me having to name them.
Yeah, newsflash, Nayan is really bad at naming scenes.
I saved myself that one year.
No, you didn't save yourself.
The blood smile.
Huh? No, that became a lifelong meme, and that still is around to this day.
It is, unfortunately.
That is an inside joke right there, but all you need to know is Nayan cannot name scenes. But anyway, our nominations for most memorable scene is Top Gun Maverick, the dogfight. That is the ending scene in which they spoilers for any of this segment. Skip 5 minutes ahead if you haven't seen Top Gun.
No spoilers. It's been almost a year.
You never know who hasn't seen any of these movies. But yes, the dogfight is when they steal the jet, they fly back, and then the enemy is behind them, and then it's the final jet flight at the end.
Dogfight.
The Batman I'm Vengeance scene, the opening segment of the Batman. We all know it. We saw it in the trailer and we saw it in the film. Top Gun Maverick, the bombing run. It's the build up towards the scene in which the 4 jets, they fly through and they can go to complete the task that they were trained up to do. Avatar, The Way of Water, the first dive. That is our first introduction to the underwater world of Pandora. And finally, Far, Far Away in Puss in Boots' Last Wish, which is the final scene of the film in which Puss in Boots and his newfound family are arriving on a ship to Far, Far Away, featuring the iconic music from Shrek 2.
Oh, yeah. What a scene.
I know. These are great scenes, mate. What do you think of the nominations?
I think there's 5 here, right? Yeah, these 5 scenes, easily the best we've got all year. Each on their own deserves that number one spot. That dogfight, like, that's just so intense. Like, you do not know if they're going to live or if they're going to survive.
Yeah.
Vengeance, like, just watching that hand-to-hand combat, because we saw on the in the trailers, but you either watch it on laptop, tablet, or phone. Watching on the big screen, it hits a lot different. Like, the build up to that, like that whole opening scene, the music so swells, and then the big score comes in right at that moment. The bombing run, the whole film was literally built for this literally one scene.
Yeah.
Like, not the dogfight scene, just they were training for this. And like the build up, there was very minimal dialogue before they set off on that. It was just mainly score and like, quick cuts of stuff. And
see it again, yeah.
Yeah, I do want to see it again. The first dive, like, it's your whole introduction to a completely different world of Pandora. Like, first Avatar, we're up there on Earth. But this is something completely different. Even I'm just going to say Avatar 1 Na'vis to make it a bit more simpler. These Avatar 1 Na'vis coming into this different culture of water Na'vis, experiencing what they have to go through and what they're accustomed to.
Yeah, and the visuals of that scene too.
Fantastic. And then Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I mean, a fantastic film, and it capped off with that, like, with that teaser, like, holy shit. And not just the teaser itself of Far, Far Away, but it had the classic Shrek, like,
the music from
music as well. Like, holy shit, like, that is just fantastic. And
got
then
me crying in the cinema.
Yeah, got us both. And then, like, having the news of Shrek 5 being, like, confirmed in the works as well just makes the scene even more better as well.
Definitely.
But I don't know what number one is, what took out this category?
The winner of this one is the dogfight in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah.
Deserved.
It is deserved. I mean, all these scenes here, they really had a case to be it. It's a tough one, but yeah, the dogfight in Top Gun Maverick, the emotions behind the scene, the music behind the scenes, the visuals, the adrenaline that's going through it, just everything on display. The film leading up beautifully to everything in that, and then the end of the scene where Hangman comes in and saves the day, and you're like, you think they're both gonna die. It's a beautiful, beautiful scene. It's what filmmaking's all about.
And then, like, when he saved him off, you like hear that, like, classic Top Gun theme as well, and just it's the cherry on top of the perfect Sunday.
that whole scene, man. It's just it's crazy. Yeah.
Now on to the best visual effects of 2022.
This is a tough one.
It's hard. I'm stumped on it, eh? The nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, fantastic war film from a different perspective. We've got The Batman. You may not have noticed that many visual effects, but there was in that. You got Nope, Top Gun Maverick, obviously with the jet planes and stuff like that. And then Avatar, The Way of Water. 13 years or so since the first.
Yeah, the big upgrade there.
Big upgrade. Thoughts on these noms?
These are good nominations. The thing that separates the obvious frontrunner for this category, Avatar: The Way of Water, is all visual effects, and you know what you're getting with Avatar. Visual effects are off the charts. They are, as I've said previously, the best we've ever had. Top Gun Maverick, Nope, The Batman, All Quiet on the Western Front. They are very good to the point where everything that they do looks practical.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe besides Nope. At least Top Gun, The Batman, and All Quiet on the Western Front, they are perfect synergies between practical effects and visual effects. They rely on practical and then they use visual effects to create it seamless and create it realistic. And that is it's a beautiful blend of filmmaking. Nope obviously has obvious CGI, but it's done really well. It's subtle, naturalistic at times. It's great. But Avatar: The Way of Water is a visual effects loaded movie because it needs to be, and I think it does that extremely well. But yeah, there's obviously a winner for this one. What is it?
Not sure if you guys know or guessed already, but it's obviously Avatar: The Way of the Water. I mean, there isn't really like I said it in like podcasts before, like especially our Oscar ones. Like if an Avatar film is releasing that year, don't even bother.
Yeah,
like making your bid for best visual effects because you're just going to lose at the end of the day, and especially like this film in particular because it's 13 years since the very first one, which literally redefined the way films should look, and then Avatar: The Way of Water is redefining the way feature films. Although I am happy that we're not seeing that 3D trend come through.
Well, I think we are. There was 3D for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, 3D for Guardians in cinemas, in New Zealand cinemas.
Yeah, it's the first I'm hearing of this, but
it's not like the way it was before.
But Avatar: The Way of Water thoroughly deserved, and come Avatar 3. It's going to be number one. It's going to win the Oscar. It's going to be our number one pick for best visuals. Same with Avatar 4, 5, and whatever the fuck.
We might as well just remove the category when an Avatar movie releases in the calendar year.
I think so. I think it should be best visual effects besides Avatar. And then, we can go from there.
Exactly, yeah. Next category, we got best score or soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I love about this category is, or the way that we do it at the MGA is we include the soundtrack part of it.
Yeah.
That allows for musicals to have their time in the light. It allows for excellent song choices to be honored. You know,
such as Guardians
of the Galaxy, stuff like Baby Driver.
Yeah.
Where the song selection is key in terms of making the movie work.
Mm-hmm.
The nominees for best score or soundtrack: Top Gun: Maverick, Elvis, The Batman, Avatar: The Way of Water, and Babylon. So, what are your thoughts on these nominations?
I love every single one of these. Elvis, is probably biggest musician of all time. I don't think anyone will ever beat him. Michael Jackson probably came close, but never reached the heights.
I think the Beatles might beat him. Yeah.
Even the Beatles, sorry, I completely forgot about them. But from individual
artists,
like just the way like this film captures those iconic songs and Austin Butler actually singing those songs. It actually feels like as if Elvis is singing those songs. The Batman, that score's fantastic from the main core theme and whatnot. Avatar, solid as well, especially when they're like in that water environment and whatnot. Top Gun: Maverick, that is a score that just gets you like intense the whole time, blood pumping, and then it can also hit you emotionally as well. Because especially when they slow down the key or the main Top Gun theme, for that Iceman and Maverick scene, like that really hits you in the feels. And then Babylon, this one's a personal favorite of mine. That for a pretty average film, the score on this is just absolutely fantastic, and it sort of fits this sort of chaotic sort of thing that the film's getting towards that. But who's the winner?
The winner, Top Gun: Maverick. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough category. When you throw in soundtrack there, it makes it even harder. A case can be made for Babylon. But Top Gun, I think with us, it just it elevated the experience of that movie so much. And not only in terms of the action points, but the emotionality behind the film. It does it a lot as well. And there's actually some good songs in there. Lady Gaga's "Hold My Hand" at the end, I think, caps it off well. Is it "I Ain't Worried" by One Republic?
The
beach scene. That's a good song as well.
And then at the very start, you've got Danger Zone.
Danger Zone, a classic Top Gun song as well. So I think it's just a nice blend of everything in that one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. From score, we go to production. So the nominees for best production design is Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, Nope, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Babylon. What are your thoughts on these noms?
Babylon, very well deserved.
Yeah.
I think it's just extremely accurate to what it was, and it's extremely detailed in a lot of it as well. Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a little bit more subtle with its production design for parts of it, and then the other parts, you got like that kind of just very stylistic and interesting sets behind it in terms of the multiverse aspect and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nope. I thought Nope is underrated in terms of its production design. You got like stuff like the raining blood on the house, the theme park ranch place.
Yeah,
that's all built from scratch. It's not just some redesigned village or whatnot. It's just built from the ground up. It's part of Universal theme park now. So,
is it?
Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting and creative, and I think it really adds to that film. Avatar: The Way of the Water, the Way of Water. The beauty of that is that it's all new and made up. It has nothing to really base off reality. So, they got to be really detailed in how they do it, from, the plants to the environments to any human creation, the technology that the humans use in it. And Elvis production design is astounding. From all of the different locations in that.
Even costuming.
Yeah, even costuming. The concerts and stuff like that, the way it does it is, I think it's just breathtaking and very detailed and versatile throughout. But yes, which one is the winner of this?
The winner of this one is Avatar: The Way of Water, and I'm pretty sure you nailed it in terms of the Let's Be Real when we were going through our top 10s, and you pretty much nailed it. Now it's just everything seems new for a common thing. Like you mentioned before, the grass. This is in our Let's Be Real. The grass. Us as humans know what grass looks like on Earth.
Yeah,
but it looks completely different.
Yeah,
in this film. Same with the water, and the plants. Like every plant, every animal, every creature has a different look to it, and not just like similar sort of looks. They legitimately look different.
Yeah,
and even the Na'vi, like having the Avatar 1 Na'vi and the water Na'vis, they are slightly different as well. Like
the way they look, bigger
the way they look, the color as well, the tails. Like they're not just blue throughout; they're different shades of blue, which is a good eye for detail from James Cameron.
And just like their village is like hanging on like the roots of a tree. It's just
so different, and it's
props in it.
It's stuff you wouldn't think of thinking about until you see it. And James Gunn has too much time on his hands to think of all this stuff.
Oh, he's had years to do it, so that's pretty crazy. All right, best cinematography. The nominations for this are The Batman, All Quiet on the Western Front, Elvis, Top Gun Maverick, Avatar: The Way of Water. Thoughts on the nominations here?
Oh, this one's a really good one. I mean, the cinematography for Top Gun Maverick is fantastic. The way that they can capture actual jets in the air.
Yeah.
And it's real life jets as well, by the way, guys. It's not like CGI jets. Like, there are humans on those planes, flying those planes.
Yeah.
Is fantastic. All Quiet on the Western Front perfectly captures, that war essence. You can feel their physicality going through that, and that cinematography throughout those films is fantastic, whether it be night, day, or like them mourning someone.
Yeah.
Avatar: Way of the Water, I mean, it can go hand in hand with their visuals, the lighting and whatnot of different scenes. Yeah, it might be CGI'd, but that still accounts for cinematography.
Camera still some moving there because it's all motion capture.
Yeah, it's all motion capture. The Batman, fantastic shots in that.
Yeah.
All throughout that film. Whether it be the opening scene, the car chase scene, or the end scene.
Yeah.
It's all great and unique. And same with Elvis, capturing that persona on stage.
Yeah.
Some scenes were just cut between multiple like concerts, but it's just having Elvis in the same position and changing different outfits.
Yeah.
That's cinematography.
Cool stuff.
Each nomination here deserves a win, deserves their biscuits at the end of the day. But there can only be one winner. James, reveal it.
And there is only one winner. The winner for best cinematography is The Batman. We've done justice for what the Academy Awards could not do.
Yeah, fucking Oscars.
We at least nominated it. It's crazy it didn't get a nomination. I think it is fantastic cinematography from a framing and composition standpoint, and in particular, I think the lighting is very underrated in the film as well. Some of the shots in that are jaw-dropping at times. The way it can capture action in such a compelling way is great. The way it builds tension, the way it uses close-ups. I think it's just great all around. Greg Fraser did a really great job with the Batman. Yeah.
All right, our next category, and we're getting into the meaty part of this awards now for MGAs. We got the Best Actress. So our nominations are Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Cate Blanchett for Tar, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, Florence Pugh for Don't Worry Darling, and Ana de Armas for Blonde. What are your thoughts on these noms?
Well, I'll just say from an acting standpoint, both actor and actress, I think it was quite a weak year. I think the Best Actress category here, it's compelling. There's not a single performance here where I'm like, yep, this has to win. They all have a good, compelling case, each one of them. I think Florence Pugh, in particular, her wasn't helped by a poor film.
Yeah.
But her performance is the standout. It is the part that at least holds that movie together as much as it can. She is great. It is underrated. Ana de Armas, not much else can be said about her performance in Blonde. Michelle Williams, I wish there was a little bit more recognition around that. The way she captured the complexity of the mother, I think is just, some really underrated work there. Cate Blanchett, maybe one of her best performances ever. Yeah, really good stuff. And, Michelle Yeoh, who won the Oscar this year, I think, she was just fantastic and gave quite a nuanced performance.
Yeah.
But who is the winner of this category?
The winner of this category is the winner of the Oscar. That's Michelle Yeoh.
Of course it is.
For Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it is justifiable. I think all these other roles, they didn't diversify themselves in terms of different types of acting. But Michelle Yeoh, she went from that seriousness to sadness to the comedic side of stuff, even to fighting, whatnot. It might be a stunt double, but I'm just going to go with that for now, She showed her full range in this film.
Yeah.
And not just as one character, but as multiple characters in the multiverse, and each character has a different persona as well.
Yeah.
She captured that perfectly as well. So I think this win for her on our awards is thoroughly justifiable for her, because from this list, she's clearly the best actress in terms of talent, not talent wise, but acting for that year.
Yeah,
and diversity.
I agree. Quite a competitive year. We're going to move on to best actor now. So we got Austin Butler in Elvis, Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, Felix Camera for All Quiet on the Western Front, and Alexander Skarsgård for The Northman. So, man, thoughts on the nominations here?
Each of these guys could easily win this category.
You think so?
Yeah. Alexander Skarsgård brought that real physicality role to that sort of Nordic sort of, and at times it was very emotional because he had a personal vendetta from what was written. Felix Camera. Sorry, what was he in again?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, main guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Him and, don't know his name, sorry, but the main actor from 1917 is very comparable, they're the leads. You can just feel everything they've been through,
Quite stoic.
Stoic, don't say much, but you can just feel the physicality, them walking through mud, trying to avoid dangerous situations.
The physical side of the role that you feel.
Yep. Colin Farrell, he's fantastic in Banshees.
Yeah.
He's great. We saw a different Colin Farrell to what we used to seeing as well. Brendan Fraser, I mean, bro, it's his comeback film, really. You know, like he showed everything from, you know, his emotional side with his relationship with his daughter to his ex-wife as well.
Some gut-wrenching stuff,
Yeah, some like hard to watch stuff, and like he made it very believable. They have Austin Butler like trying to capture this persona of such an icon, like within pop culture and you know music and whatnot. And I think Austin Butler absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, you're right. The winner for Best Actor is Austin Butler. You know, not going to agree with your comment before. I think this was a pretty clear one. Brendan Fraser, I think, gives a run for the money. But though these two performances, in particular, Austin Butler, a really great performance. Like you said, captured the persona of, you know, such an icon and such a unique personality, and, you know, person. Both in terms of the look, the performance, in terms of like their singing and movement, their dancing, as well as the emotional side of things. You know, Austin Butler put himself into the Elvis role. Really invested everything. Yeah.
So much so that he continued to speak in that Elvis accent.
Yeah, he almost lost himself there.
He didn't know what was reality, Austin Butler or Elvis Presley. All right. Now here we go on to one of the bigger ones. We have Best Director.
Ooh.
And the nominees are The Daniels, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Joseph Kosinski for Top Gun Maverick, James Cameron for Avatar The Way of Water, Matt Reeves for The Batman, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. What are your thoughts on this category?
This is a tough category. The directors are very different in what they do. The Daniels, they do a low budget, high concept film that works on almost all fronts. Joseph Kosinski is that's a high budget blockbuster, filled with, you know, extremely impressive technology. And same with James Cameron, obviously working on these films, these Avatar films for ages. Has to design everything from the world, from the ground up, and you know, really pulls it off, especially from a technological standpoint. Matt Reeves giving us a really satisfying Batman film in an age where we have too much Batman on the big screen. And then, and obviously Matt Reeves having a good understanding on the comic book influence and how that should be portrayed on the big screen. Ruben Östlund, you know, making a comedy is tough. Make it a comedy that strikes on the Best Picture nomination side of things is even harder. The way he was able to have, you know, underlying themes and interesting ideas in a comedy film, it's a tall task to do. But yeah, I think he does it with such elegance here. But yeah, it's a tough category. Who's the winner of this one?
The winner for this one is Joseph Kosinski for Top Gun Maverick. And
I like it.
If you think about it, like Top Gun Maverick is like every aspect of filmmaking is nailed to the T, you know. Yeah. Production, costume, sound, visuals, screenplay, acting as well. All these other films, they may nail that, but there's always one that just is not it.
Yeah.
But he like ticks every single box, and this is a franchise film as well. Like, don't forget, a sequel that hasn't been seen since the 80s.
Yeah. Tough task.
And he did a great job of balancing the nostalgia and the new, I don't know what other word for nostalgia is, you know, captivating like the audience, the newer audience for this.
The new generation.
The new generation. For this film. So I think every aspect that he nailed, you know, even in terms of intensity and whatnot.
Yeah.
So thoroughly deserved on his part.
Definitely. We're going to move on now to Best Franchise Film. So the movies that are eligible for this category have to be a part of a franchise. if they are the first movie in a franchise, I'll give you a quick example. The Batman is not nominated because the Batman is not part of a franchise. The Batman Part 2, which comes out in 2025, is a part of a franchise because it is a sequel in a franchise. As the Batman was solo upon release, it is not eligible. So just keep that in mind. If you want to comment about how we snubbed the Batman,
then keep your comments to yourself, all right?
You heard it from Nan himself, and you don't want to mess with this guy. Anyway, our nominations for the best franchise film are Top Gun Maverick, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Scream 5, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Avatar: The Way of Water. Some interesting nominations here. What's your thoughts on them?
Yeah, they are very interesting. I mean, Avatar: The Way of the Water, obviously, it's part of a massive franchise, almost coming out to like, 6 billion plus. Just off 2 films as well. It's like, the whole MCU combined almost. You can't go wrong with James Gunn and not James Gunn, James Cameron. And what he's building towards is going to be fantastic come Avatar 3, 4, and 5. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is part of the Shrek franchise. Puss in Boots is like a side franchise, and it's a film that blew everyone away.
Yep.
In terms of memes, especially. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. It had a tough job of having to deal with the Chadwick situation, and I think this film did it perfectly in terms of honoring him, but while continuing to push that character of Black Panther towards the future of MCU.
Yeah.
Scream 5 was a delight. Like, I think everyone was expecting it to fall within that, Halloween sort of trap where it's just like cash grab for a dying franchise, but it found a way to rejuvenate it, and put an interesting spin, and then have these legacy characters come in as well.
Yeah.
And then Top Gun Maverick, whatever I said for Best Director can just be said for that.
We keep praising that movie a lot.
Yeah. What's our winner, though?
Our winner is Top Gun Maverick.
Of course.
And we'll keep talking about Top Gun Maverick. It is a great film. But yeah, I think when you look at the category Best Franchise Film, you got to think about the film as a franchise film in terms of what distinguishing the winner here. As you said before, Top Gun Maverick, it honors the legacy and nostalgia of the first Top Gun, and it brings in that new generation. It makes the film digestible for the newer generation, the way films are made these days, and it got another generation of fans behind it. I think that is a perfect, especially with Top Gun being the original Top Gun in the 1980s being such a highly regarded classic film. It's quite an icon in pop culture. The music behind it, and a lot of the posters and stuff like that, they are quite iconic. And so to make this film in a way that you get all the old fans and the oldies really loving this film, you get the newer people loving this film. Perfect franchise film right there. Yeah.
All right, now human beings on Earth, we get into our main event, and that is the best film for 2022 in the MovieGainz Awards. And your nominees are Top Gun Maverick, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Triangle of Sadness, and, because I can't pronounce his first name, Del Toro's Pinocchio. All fantastic films, all worthy of these nominations. James, what do you think?
Well, I think that you need to learn Del Toro, as you like to call him, his first name. You got to learn to pronounce that first name. But
how do you pronounce it?
I got to learn it as well. We'll learn it next time.
Yeah.
Next year we'll be back. I don't know his next film, but we'll be able to say that name. Don't worry. Del Toro's Pinocchio. This was a film I'm not personally fond of, but from a filmmaking perspective, it is the work of an artist. It's just pure craftsmanship. Just every frame is perfectly set up. The animation, beautiful. The story is not scared to be its own thing. It doesn't allow itself to just fit in the appeal of little kids. It is exactly the story of Pinocchio that deserves to be put to the screen. Triangle of Sadness, again, it's a comedy that is hard to do. It's a comedy that explores a lot of different things, and it's not afraid to showcase different dynamics of human relationships, and how we adjust to circumstances, and beyond that, it's extremely funny and a entertaining joyride. The Fabelmans, it's Spielberg magic. He just knows films inside and out. He doesn't create bad stuff at all. He just you feel the heart that he puts into that kind of stuff, and yeah, I think it's just absolutely brilliant. You just feel that magic on screen.
Yeah.
Everything everywhere all at once. It's dealing with a complicated concept. MCU is struggling to handle the multiverse concept. Everything everywhere all at once is not struggling. I think it nailed it. And in a way that's interesting, it's fun, it's enjoyable. And then beyond that, it goes deep into its characters. It goes deep into the relationships between them, and it has a lot of underlying thought-provoking elements to it. And it just shows what you can do with, high concepts such as the multiverse. And it showed us that. And, Top Gun Maverick, we keep talking about Top Gun Maverick. We keep saying and singing our praises out to it. It just did everything right. It's everything a blockbuster should be. Everybody loved it for a reason. Critics, audience, old, young, male, female, doesn't matter. Everybody loved it for a reason. It's just a great, enjoyable movie that captures like the best of filmmaking in general, I think. Yeah, but I mean, I sung a lot of praise out there for each single one. What is our winner of this category?
And your winner for the best film of 2022 in the MovieGainz Award is... Sorry, this envelope's been a little bit of a bitch right now.
The electronic envelope.
The electronic envelope. The winner is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, interesting.
And it just sort of had to be, like everything. It was fantastic in every aspect. That it won the best actor, supporting actor. Best actress.
You're talking about the wrong award show.
Best actress, supporting actress, and supporting actor. The film, the story overall is fantastic. The visuals is fantastic. It did the multiverse right. I mean, we spoke about this film so much. It's just hard to think of new things to say, but it's definitely the best film of 2022 overall. I got nothing more to say because I think I've said in previous podcasts, and now let's be real, just before.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add to our number one?
No, I mean, I think, for best film, I think it's a worthy winner.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a tough category, and several films make the case for that. But it's a movie that it does everything kind of in a really great way, and everything that it had to do. And I think it nailed it.
Yeah.
One of the best hits of the year.
And I think the fact that it released after Multiverse of Madness, and it just proved.
Did it release before?
I thought it was after. I'm pretty sure I saw Doctor Strange before I saw this.
Nah, it was before Doctor Strange, because I remember I saw it in Australia.
Okay, well, in that case, then
on my holiday,
In that case, then the fact that this film came out and did the multiverse before Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and pretty much shat on whatever the Marvel did, it's fantastic from zero build as well. There's been no previous films leading up to this film and whatnot, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, MGA Best Film Winner 2022.
So winner, those are our MGAs. Now we're going to cap it off with having a curated list of MovieGainz top 3 worst films of 2022 and MovieGainz top 10 films of 2022. So now, what is our or what is MovieGainz? Top 3 worst films of 2022.
Right. I love this category. And number 3, we have Lightyear. And number 2, we have Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore. And our worst film of 2022 is Thor, Love and Thunder. We went through our discussions for each of these films in our Let's Be Real podcast, but do you agree with this list?
Yeah, it's a good list. All these movies are shit. just to put it in a really blunt and direct way. Yeah, they aren't good movies. They're not good for their franchises. I wouldn't be surprised if Pixar doesn't make a single solo Toy Story movie again.
They probably will.
And Thor, I know Marvel's not going to take much lessons from it, and hopefully Fantastic Beasts ends and dies. And no words about Harry Potter right now.
Gasoline and fire. That's what he's trying to get at.
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
but enough with our worst. What is our top 10 best films of 2022?
Our top 10 best ones? So the MovieGainz top 10 films of 2022. This is our official list. 10th, we have The Northman. 9th is Nope. 8th is Elvis. 7th is Everything Everywhere All at Once. 6th is Triangle of Sadness. 5th is Del Toro's Pinocchio. 4th is Avatar: The Way of Water. 3rd is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. 2nd is The Batman. And our number 1, Top Gun Maverick.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. That film has dominated the MGAs. It's dominated our list as well.
It has.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of our curated list here, what do you think?
I think it's spot on.
Yeah.
Like, I think this is probably our most perfect list since MGA MovieGainz has been created, this is so accurate.
It's great.
Each one deserves its place. Like Puss in Boots was a huge surprise. It deserves its place in there. The Northman was fantastic as well as an indie A24 film. Deserves its place. Mm-hmm. Same with Nope and Elvis. Elvis didn't quite get the recognition as it deserved in the Oscars, but fuck, we sure gave it its recognition here.
Definitely did.
And stuff like Triangle of Sadness, Pinocchio, Avatar: Way of Water, everyone would have thought would come up higher.
Yeah.
But all these other films are just too good, so I'm happy with this list.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great list, and it's reflective of some good movies for the last year. But I think 2023 is going to top that list.
It's going to be very hard to do our top 10 of 2023 with so many juicy films
stuff
coming up. So far, from what we've seen so far this year, it's just banger after banger after banger.
It's been great. Yeah.
Now we're getting into the meaty season. Now it's just going to be banger after banger after banger.
I think what I love about this year is that you just got such a good taste in all these blockbusters. Oppenheimer, Barbie, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
To all the more little stuff. Asteroid City, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
I mean, there's David Fincher's The Killer, stuff like that. There's just it's going to be hard. We'll see what the year gives us.
Yeah.
But we've covered off the 2022 release slate quite well here. So yeah, that's going to do it from us. That is another MGAs in the books. Thanks for tuning in to our awards episode, and for next year, for 2023, we're going to have it done much earlier than in May.
Fingers crossed, because we said that this year.
I know. Yeah, we'll aim for at least January or February. Hopefully, the New Zealand movies are the release slate here is kind to us. But if you want, you can donate us a plane ticket. We'll come over to America. We'll binge watch everything that we miss here or that comes out in March and February here. But yeah, so if you want it earlier, you got to shout us. Anyway,
our bank account details are
1, 2. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us on whatever platform you're listening from. Turn on those notifications to never miss another one. Also, chuck us a follow on Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube to support us and to support the show. I would love to hear what you think about the MGAs this year, flick us a message on Twitter at MovieGainz. Head on over to MovieGainz.com for our 4K movie reviews, box office analysis, and coverage of award season. Also, remember to sign up to our weekly email newsletter to stay up to date with everything that we do. Thanks again for joining us. We'll catch you next year for the 7th annual MovieGainz Awards.
Oh, the number 7.
Yeah. All right. Keep bringing the hype. Peace.
See you later, guys.